Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Adam.
And this is the last episode of the season. That's right. We're going to talk about our top 10, our bottom 10. And we're going to re-rank our list for the year. Because sometimes, you look back and you're like, actually, this is better than I thought. And this album's far worse than I thought. To Pimp a Butterfly?
Who knows?
I'm just kidding. I didn't move that one. But, there are many that I actually, I grew to like. Yeah. I grew to like way more. And I'm hoping Adam will change his mind about Spiritual Machines. But we'll talk about that when we get there.
That would be like if I went up to Plouffe one day. I was like, I had an epiphany about the Beths.
You should.
And then I would be like, psych.
I bought tickets to go see them. They're coming to Vancouver this year. Plouffe and I are going. I'm very excited. But yeah, we've been doing this for 3 years now, which is crazy. And this is one of the seasons of all time. I think this was a very strong top 12 for me.
Oh,
I think the top 12, I'm like, this is really, really good. But there's a strong bottom 20. I would say there was a big delta between some of the high rated ones and the low rated ones this year. I feel like season 1 was like pretty just good. And then season 2 was really fantastic. So we're going to do a top 10 ranking of all time. And then I have a bottom 10 of all time. And I'm excited to talk about that. But what do you guys think? What do you think about this year, the albums we chose? Jamie, you've been here for the whole 3 years as well.
That's true.
How do you think this did for a year?
It's a strong year. You're right. Like most of our years, we have at least 5 albums that I'm like, wow, that was a really good album. I'm really glad one of us brought it to the group. But this year we had a number of good albums, which made the ranking somewhat difficult because there weren't, like, some of the albums that are kind of in the middle of the pack, they're great albums. But the unfortunate thing is that they're not as good as, say, Dark Side of the Moon.
we did end up with like 3 of the greatest albums of all time on this year. When we're talking about like albums like Rumors, Pet Sounds, and Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah,
it's like those ones are pretty easy recommendations from pretty much anywhere. All the time. It's
funny because that was the first time I listened to those albums, and I was like, yeah. It turns out they are that good. The Dark Side of the Moon episode, I'm like, I thought people just had the poster because it's a cool album cover. It turns out it is a cool album cover, and it's also one of the greatest albums of all time.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I think you had the epiphany that Pink Floyd might be one of your favorite bands.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I still have not listened to anything other than Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon, and I guess Live at Pompeii. And I'm a little nervous to go to other stuff because I know it is different, but those 2 albums are ones I go back to quite often, at least Dark Side of the Moon.
You listened to metal on your own, didn't you?
Yeah, because I had stuff from Live from Pompeii, so I did listen to that, and I was like, this is pretty good. Really enjoyed their stuff. Really glad I got to experience it here on the podcast. And like you said, Rumors as well. I don't think I was as big of a fan, but it was cool to listen to something where it's like, well, there's a lot of songs I know, and I've never listened to this album. Like, it's crazy that they can all come from one singular album. Yeah. And Pet Sounds, man, again, it's of a time, but not in a negative way. It's cool to be transported back into when stuff. I associate like that kind of like male harmonies with like old Christian bands, but it's like about
like
doing
gospel
acid.
Or something,
yeah, or like Jersey Boys. It's like
I think it's
male
just
harmonies.
All
in this,
of
like,
those bands
ways.
were Christians because of the time.
Many were, yeah.
But yeah, it's like so. It is like that corny, like 1940s, 1950s era.
The ink spots.
And it was also like the era of like the novelty track, and you have so many things that have like only made it to the present day because it's like, how much is that doggy in the window? And you're like, oh my god.
But back in the day, they were like, yes, I'm calling into my radio station.
I need to know how much.
I want to hear about the song that says there's no bananas today.
Specifically, which dog are you talking about?
The
one with the waggly tail?
Yeah.
Oh.
We only do have one of those. It's crazy. We also listen to a wide variety of genres, from R&B with like Blond to Blue Desert, like kind of a moody ambient electronica music, Just As I Am, The Money Store, so many different things. Björk, Homogenic,
that's a genre.
Homogenic,
yeah,
so good. To things that weren't maybe as good. Vessel, Stranger Heads Prevail, by Thank You Scientist.
Oh, I mean,
AC/DC. Like some stinkers. It's funny. I had a friend who was like, he doesn't listen to the podcast all the time. If he knows an album and likes it a lot, he'll go listen.
Yeah.
And he listened to the AC/DC one because he heard me complaining about it. And he's like, I listened to the episode. And then I went back and I listened to the Back in Black by AC/DC, and that album sucks. It's just like the same song over and over and over, but it's not even like a good song. And I was like, thank you.
In previous seasons, if you've listened to the first 2 seasons, you'll hear Plouffe and I make the joke that AC/DC has one song. And it's true. They do.
Mm-hmm.
And they play it multiple ways.
Giving the dog a bone, giving the dog a bone.
That AC/DC,
What
man.
you do for money?
Yeah, and then there's things like, Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown. I really enjoyed. Jamie, you weren't a huge fan of that one, though.
It scared me. It scared the bros.
Well, why don't we go through our top 10, and we'll discuss
right now.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. What are existing before we
Okay,
reorganize?
okay.
What's your top 10? Jamie, why don't you go first if you have it there?
Okay, so currently, if you're following at home, my top 10 is Dark Side of the Moon, Joe
Number one,
Cocker's
yeah.
Mad Dogs and Englishmen, which was my first pick for the season, which is number 2. Rumors, number 3. Carole King's Tapestry, in number 4. Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion, which was Adam's first pick, in the 5th spot.
Wow.
Adam's gift to me, D'Angelo and the Vanguard's Black Messiah, is in the 6th spot, followed by Peter Gabriel's So. That's the one with Sledgehammer on it. We get the Dave Brubeck Quartet's Time Out in number 8. Wings, Band on the Run in 9. And then Sven's pick, Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey.
Don't forget me.
Don't forget me.
Adam, let's hear yours. I'm going to switch it up, though. Throw Jamie under the bus. Do 10 to 1. I like
want
the
me to do 10 to
dramatic.
1? Okay.
Yeah, I like the dramatic.
10.
Like, what's your first?
Deafheaven, Sunbather.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion. Number 8 is the Rural Alberta Advantage's Hometowns. Number 7 is the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Then Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. D'Angelo and the Vanguard's Black Messiah. Number 4, Danny Brown's Atrocity Exhibition. Number 3, Death Grip's The Money Store. Number 2, Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. And number 1 is Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly.
Wow. We have similar but very different top 10s. At number 10, my current rank is Pet Sounds by The Beach Boys. 9, Samurai, Lupe, Fiasco. 8, Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. 7, sorry, my numbers are out of order, but I'm pretty sure is 7 is Parachutes by Coldplay. 6 is Why Laud by NxWorries. 5 is Being So Normal by Peach Pit. 4 is Blue Desert by Jack J. 3 is This Old Dog by Mac DeMarco. 2 is Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. And number 1 is Blonde by Frank Ocean.
It's confirmed. The Dark Side of the Moon, great album.
Fantastic album.
What a surprise.
We got Apple Music recently released Top 100 ever since you've been listening to Apple Music, because it released 10 years ago. And Dark Side of the Moon, there was a few songs that were already on there, and I only listened to it for the first time.
Yeah,
in like April,
2 months ago. Yeah.
And it's already gotten up there.
It's such a monumentally good album. I don't think there's anybody who listens to this podcast who hasn't. And if you haven't, wait till the end of the episode, leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to
episode.
Dark Side of the Moon. Go listen to our episode.
Yeah, truly fantastic. It lived up to the hype.
That was a Christmas episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you gave it to me.
Right, yeah.
I have listed down for who had the most albums in the top 10 for me. I put everyone's initials next to their pick. I think it's of no surprise that I was the number 1 in my own list.
Wow, what
I think
a surprise.
that's true of all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you never know. Jamie picked some stinkers that maybe he even doesn't like. With 6 chosen by me, 3 were chosen by Jamie, and 1 by Adam, which was Samurai by Lupe Fiasco.
Oh, interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because I think we're very aligned on a lot of our opinions on a lot of these albums on here.
100%.
Maybe with the handful of like Parachutes and Coldplay, but I just didn't pick a lot of these albums.
Mm-hmm.
But you brought a lot of albums that I was like, these are great.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have compiled all of our lists into one mega list
Well,
that
does
we'll
that
talk
list
about
work?
later.
Because
I'll adjust it when we do our final ranking.
I was going to say, because we've moved things around.
Yes.
But
I
it's
would love to
interesting.
hear-
I think Jamie has introduced 2 of the most controversial picks in terms of his ranking.
The best and the worst.
Because you put Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs, and Englishmen as your number 2, and I think that's bottom 10 for both Belle and I.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
probably.
53 out of 56 for me.
And it is 50 out of 56 for me.
And he also chose AC/DC, Back in Black, who is also one of the lowest choices for all 3 of us.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, you also like really didn't like Danny Brown, Björk, or Wolf.
No.
Yeah, Jamie's list. If you want to actually see our list, the entire thing, because we're not going to talk about a lot of the ones in the middle unless they've moved places.
Yeah.
They'll be in the show notes if you're on a podcast app, or the description or comment section of the YouTube video, depending on how many characters. That'll probably be comments for each of our lists. There will also be, because we're doing the top 10 of all time, and for me, the bottom 10 of all time, I will put my ranking, because I was the only one who kept track of their rankings, in a comment as well. So you can see every ranking we've ever done, or every album we've ever done ranked by me.
The Bellevance files.
Yeah, exactly.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, so Jamie, you've got some controversial picks. Adam, I agree that we usually have a very similar taste, but we've maybe brought on different things because we want to talk about different things. So even though we align on a lot of music, ones we want to talk about, like, again, I go back to our first episode with me choosing the Now Now. It's not an album I especially like, but it's one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
When I look at my bottom ranking, there's a lot of A's. There's a lot of Adams.
Listen, when you don't like my you don't like my stuff.
I don't like it
I mean,
at
that
all.
was sort of true when Plouffe was the Atom. You know
It's
what
true.
I mean? Like the when we really liked one of Plouffe's picks, we really liked it, and when we really didn't like one of Plouffe's picks, we really didn't.
Yeah, we really, really did
I had to
not.
fill the seat of being the variety pick. You know?
Yeah.
You
Jamie's just going to bring on every album that was made before the year 1998.
Sometimes it works, though, because season 1, my top rated album was Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. And then in season 2, my top Jamie pick was number, I think it's 7, was a New World Record by ELO.
ELO, yeah.
And then Breakfast in America, Supertramp was right after that. So he had sometimes picking old albums.
I mean, it's really easy when you just pick some of the best albums of all time.
Yeah.
Like historically celebrated albums.
Well, that's most of my soundtrack. Most of my collection is albums that I really like. There's no point in keeping albums you don't like.
And it's a truly great way to listen to great music, is to just be like, what do people think is the best music of all time? You go through that stuff, you'll have endlessly good music to listen to.
I mean, that's another crazy thing about that top 100, because they do for Apple Music does it for you as well as everyone on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Listening to the top songs on Apple Music, I was like, I have never heard of these people. Like, this is crazy how I can miss such mainstream music.
Do you have an example of like?
Oh, there was Dua Lipa music. I'm like, this is the second of all time. Is it like a Dua Lipa song? Like, I've never even heard of this.
That's just
There's
most
also
listened.
a lot of Drake and The Weeknd. I was like, they truly are so popular.
It is crazy.
Ubiquitous almost.
And Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran has the number 1, and I was like, I didn't actually realize he was that popular, because like it's not my style of music, or maybe it is. I just never listened to it.
No.
But, I'll tell you right now, probably not. I was like, that's crazy. I need to listen to. I think the album Scorpion by Drake is almost in its entirety in the top 50. I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, that was him releasing that's like one of his longest albums in terms of track listing, and it was like peak Drake. Like it was right after Hotline Bling had kind of popped off.
Yeah.
He was God's Plan was absolutely huge. Like
I think those are all
Hotline
the
Bling was like
following
actually
album.
3 years.
Yeah.
You know, Views from the Six was between that. But he was like, that was like Drake, I think, at the peak of his career. Truly, he was at like.
The crazy thing is, they're all good. Like when they were coming on, I was like, this is actually decent. And this is not to talk about the big 3 drama or whatever, who's better, but like, it's fun music.
Scorpion is just way too long. If Scorpion was was not a double album, there'd be a lot. There's like some good tunes hidden in there. But that's like most of the problems on most of Drake's projects, is that all of his strongest stuff is like surrounded by mid, and especially I think from Scorpion onward, he's really just been like, well, time to make another Drake song. And I think that's been the biggest flaw, is that he hasn't shown much growth in the past while.
Yeah, and you see, again, this is not all about Drake, especially because, we didn't listen to him this year.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But it's interesting to see the top 100, what you can really miss in the popular eye, yet we've proven that sometimes they truly are just so good. It's been really interesting to listen to those, and to hear things that are really indie, like, again, Blue Desert by Jack J. Dump. Yeah, Dump was a fun one. It's one that I think as a package holds up a lot better than if you just listen to random songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as a package is very cool. With Touche, I tried to pick a lot of local people or Canadian artists and indie artists, and there's some fun ones. I liked Mother a lot. Getting to talk with you guys about it. To old stuff like Patsy Cline and Bill Withers, really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill Withers is an interesting juxtaposition if you think about. So Blonde is considered an R&B album, and then Bill Withers is technically an R&B or a soul album, and the evolution of R&B is actually very interesting because Bill Withers doesn't sound like modern R&B, does he?
But if you go back, like R&B used to just be like a shorthand term for like black people music. Like that's what it was.
Yeah, that's I think the benefit of having so many genres is that like it'd be cool to have make it easier to discern between these things. The problem is we also assign a lot of genres to one album, where it's like, I guess that makes sense because different songs can have different feels, but like this is soul and R&B and has hip hop, and then you're like, well, those are very different things, and I really just want to listen to soul to get to Bill Withers, but I guess Blonde is also kind of modern that, so it's like very hard to discern sometimes.
Yeah, like D'Angelo is like neo soul, but also that album had a ton of like funk and a ton of like
yes, it did,
just straight up like had R&B. Or you go like look at Weird Al. No, who was I gonna bring up that had quite the variety? I've lost it, man.
I lost
it.
Well, hey, let's you know what else is
like Wylod? That has a good amount of
That's
variety.
decent. I was more gonna bring up Demon Days. That's what it was.
Oh,
Demon
fair
Days.
enough.
Demon Days,
Yeah.
or like Beck's Guero, where it's just like,
oh yeah,
they just call it alternative because it's just kind of like weird, but it's really just, genre chameleon type stuff. Where you're like, I'm gonna try something like this for one.
man, Shadow Guero, that was one I was like, this is gonna drop down. Like just like looking at it in the list, it feels weird. Every time I listen to that album to try to move it, I was like, no, it's really good. It's in the 11th spot, so for me, so honorable mention. Really liked that album. Going back, I was like, this is a lot of different sounds. And when I think of like E-Pro and Girl and stuff like that, it's easy to forget the things like Black Tambourine and all these other songs. I'm just like, man, it is so good. And the Mexican.
You're saying you still
Spanish,
haven't listened to Odelay though, right?
I have not.
Odelay is also very good.
I bet.
And if you like Guero, especially because of its variety and like sounds, Odelay is also excellent.
I like the scary dog jumping in the cover. Looks like a
scary dog. He's not
it looks
scary.
Because why does it look like that?
Because his
like
hair's been braided.
Looks like a beast. Beasts are cool.
The Odelay, he's lurking.
Yes, exactly. You know what else is lurking? We listened to a lot of bad albums this year. Why don't we do our bottom 10? And Jamie, I'm not going to say it for failure this time. Why don't we do 46, starting with that, and then ending with 56, aka the worst of the year.
Chief. Okay, so this year, 46 is Thank You Scientists, Stranger Heads Prevail, Guero, The Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape, Super Powerless by Dump, The Rural Alberta Advantages Hometowns, Parachutes by Coldplay,
Oh my god.
Tyler, The Creators, Wolf, Bjork's Homogenic, Danny Brown's Atrocity Exhibition, 21 Pilots Vessel, and Engelbert Humperdinck's 20 Great Hits.
That's insane. That is honestly.
I think everyone in this room is upset except for Jamie right now.
That is crazy. I'm hoping that you rearrange things because this is what it is currently. But Adam, let's see.
There's stuff in the bottom
redemption.
that I agree with Jamie, and I'm also mad still. I want to preface this with that, like, I think I will tell you where we hit the line where I stopped liking albums. Because I think that there was a lot of really good albums this season, and I enjoyed almost everything that we listened to.
It's about 40 for me. 40 is when they stop being good. 40 is when we leave the 7 out of 10s and get into the 6 out of 10s.
I mean, for me, a 6 out of 10 is still good. I guess this is semantics.
Yeah.
So 46 is Dump's Super Powerless. 47 is The Life is Strange soundtrack by various artists. 48 is Stone Temple Pilots' Core. 49 is Wolf by Tyler, the Creator. 50 is Joe Cocker's Mad Dogs and Englishmen, and now I stopped liking them. Engelbert Humperdinck's 20 Great Hits. It's the biggest issue with that album is it's a freaking overlong K-Tel compilation. So the sound quality was terrible. You got all of his hits, which were all the songs that sounded the most similar. If it was a 10-track album, I think it would have been far more favorable because there's like 2 or 3 songs in there that I absolutely love.
Man Without Love.
Quando is like one of the best songs I've heard in the past year. Like that I found out in this over the course of this season. I freaking love it.
Think about how low that album would have been if Quando wasn't on there.
It would have been. It probably would have been third or second last.
Yeah.
Then we go to the Cars. It's so outside of when it sounds really catchy for like 30 seconds in each song, it's so robotic and jilted. I don't care for it. The 53rd spot, 21 Pilots' Vessel. 54 is Our Lady Peace's Spiritual Machines.
I'm shaking my head.
I really tried because I know that you really like this album, and I know that it's important to you. And I was like, I really want to be able to enjoy this. And out of all of my re-listens, I think I gave it 4 re-listens in the past month to be like, maybe it'll click this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get over Rain Maida's voice. He's just like the dude was like, yeah, a big green monkey. Everyone's a junkie. Cut it, send it. Like, come on.
So good.
55 is Limp Bizkit's Significant Other, and 56 is AC/DC's Back in Black.
Honestly, Limp Bizkit being that low, also a crime.
No, man. There's only like 3 good songs.
You don't
on that
like
album.
break stuff?
I know, that song's amazing.
So 3 good songs, right? You said 3 good songs?
Yeah.
Engelbert Humperdinck has 1.
I think he has 3 good songs, and I like them more.
Man Without Love is so good, dude.
And I think that the most of the crimes that Engelbert Humperdinck songs commit is being boring.
Yeah, this one.
Limp Bizkit has offensively bad musical choices on there.
You're out of your mind.
And
then sorry, the lowest one was AC/DC.
AC/DC, which has like no redeeming qualities except for the song Back in Black's on it, which has a sick guitar riff, and then also I guess you have Brian Johnson just shrieking over top of it, which is like another. It's funny how the bottom 2 the bottom 3 are all albums that are probably okay, completely ruined by vocalists. Actually, AC/DC I don't think is actually that okay. I don't think if they had no vocals on it, it would be that much better. But all of them have a combination of just having an insufferable vocalist on it.
Here to your mind. Agree to disagree.
I mean, okay, in Limp Bizkit's defense, the insufferable vocalist is like literally part of the appeal. Like, I also think that Limp Bizkit doesn't even fucking work as a concept without having that stupid guy on top of it writing the worst lyrics you've ever heard, saying the dumbest stuff you've ever heard in the storkiest voice you've ever heard. But then every so often it rips so freaking hard.
Yeah, that's what I live for.
I just can't.
I can hold on for those.
I could.
But I say this with my bottom 10 being even more controversial, I think Adam will be more mad at me than I am at him.
I'll be offended. I'm offended. I'm already looking at it. I'm a little offended.
Carry on, sir.
All right. So for 46, mine is Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen. 47, Master Reality by Black Sabbath. 48, 20 Great Hits by Engelbert Humperdinck. 49, Hometowns by Royal Bird Advantage, who I would love to like.
Yeah.
I would love to like them. I don't. 50, AM by Wilco. 51, The Cars. 52, Core, Stone Temple Pilots, which again, there's been some songs I think are decent. I remember I saw a picture because there's a thing called the Invictus Games, and they had signs that said "I am." And I took a picture and sent it to Jamie and Adam, and I was like, "I am." But again, with some of the strong subject matter about assault, which you could say is a statement against it, but it's like not portraying that it's against it. It's very odd. Not an album for me. 53, Mad Dogs and Englishmen by Joe Cocker, which has the worst cover of any song I've ever heard, which was Superstar by whoever featured
that's
on
not
that.
very good, is it? Yeah.
No, just stinker.
Mad Dogs and Englishmen really comes together on the last disc, on the last side.
Yeah.
The last side is awesome, and then it's so hit or miss in the middle.
Mm-hmm. 54, Back in Black by AC/DC. 55, Vessel by Stone Temple Pilots. Where he just sits in silence.
21 Pilots.
26 Pilots.
Stone Temple,
it
21
blows,
Pilots.
Okay, finish the list.
And 56, the last one, the worst of the year, Stranger Heads Prevail by Thank You Scientist.
It blows my mind that
He's
you
so
would
upset.
rather listen to AC/DC. I'm not even mad that you don't like the album. I'm mad that you like Back in Black more than it.
Hey, that album was over faster.
You know what? That's fair.
Stranger Heads Prevail. I didn't re-listen to it. That's how bad I knew it was, where I'm like, I might re-listen to the other ones to do it. I'm like, I don't want to re-listen to this. It's clown music for Tumblr kids. It's the worst sort of like alt music.
That was unusual, yeah. At the beginning on that album.
We should have got Plouffe to listen to it and then phone in.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah, he listened to it.
Does he like it?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect.
Oh, he might have.
He probably he enjoyed some of it. I sent him some of it, and he was like, "This is pretty cool."
Mm-hmm. Did you just send the first and last track?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it starts and ends the album.
I sent him the best tracks though, and they're better than.
So if I sent you the 3 songs you like from Limp Bizkit, you'd be like, "Wow, this is top 20."
Fair point.
Exactly.
Fair point.
But the whole rest of it is not good. But I mean, spoiler: I didn't re-rank this. We did re-rank them. We did re-rank some albums.
You didn't even re-listen to it. That's not fair.
I don't need to. I don't. Guess what? I didn't re-listen to Dope Smoker last year.
2 years ago.
That one
one's
I would say is like more burdensome because it's like one long track.
Yeah,
you can at least
you gotta flip the album. It's so funny because again, when we do these rankings, we have different opinions on how we rank them. The consideration of the package matters. So like, Dark Side of the Moon, Blonde. I mean, if Blonde. It's a fantastic album. I would have chosen number 1 anyways, but it also comes in such a cool package that it was number 1 for me. Versus something like Begonia's Fear was one of my favorite albums in the first season, but it was mastered so horribly that it actually did knock down some ranks off of that. And Dope Smoker by Sleep, they would lose some points by being like, it's a song and it's one song and I need to flip
it is
an
like
album.
it was not made for the vinyl format.
No. But we did do some re-rankings. Jamie, I'll give you a break. Adam, did you re-rank any of these? What is
any at the bottom?
Or just any of the ones on your list this year?
Honestly, so this was one that we were talking about all year, which was Lana Del Rey's Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? Because, again, I think it's another album that has such an incredible selection of tracks on it. Mm-hmm. But I also I tried going back and listening to it, and I still find it so slow. It's a very slow, emotional album, and being like 70 minutes long, it's kind of a slog sometimes. I will say the opening track, the title track, AM, the opening track is also great. It's got like 4 or 5 10 out of 10 songs on it, and I just could never get through it. So it kind of hasn't really moved that much for me. I know you guys have kind of endlessly celebrated it, like talked about it quite a bit, and I think it's a great album, and I would definitely recommend it to a lot of folks. For me, I just couldn't sit through it as an album. When you take into consideration like the really nice version of that album that Sven brought in, it seems like I think maybe I could have ranked it higher, but for me, it still only went up. It moved from the 44th to the 40th spot.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, I could maybe be 39. I don't really like Pompeii that much.
JB, did you re-rank it?
Yeah, I moved that from the 10th spot to the 5th spot.
Oh, wow. Wow, so, that's huge. We'll do our new top 10 closer to the end of the episode if we talk about some specific ones. Yeah. That's a big move.
Yeah. Big there was one that moved up and one that moved out, and but yeah, no, I still like that album. I listened to it again the other day. But yeah, I'm glad that Sven brought it on.
Yeah.
We didn't have that many guests this year, so Sven's guest pick was pretty good. I guess Plouffe counts as a guest.
Yeah, I ended up moving that one as well, though. I really enjoyed it. Sven did a great job picking an album. I moved it up 6 spots, so from the 18th to the 12th. It's one that I constantly think about fondly, and when I go to listen to it, I do enjoy it. I don't think there's a ton of times where I'm like in sad girl zone, because like it is like a consistently low energy, or even when it's kind of higher energy, it's still kind of darker, which is not a mood I'm in a ton. But like I listened to it on the drive here earlier, and I was like, man, it just really is so good. She's got such a beautiful voice. And then of course there's the alternate version of the album with her boobs out on the cover, which removes the pastor interlude. And that album was worth like $400, but it doesn't have the pastor interlude, which is I think the one part we all, like everyone including Sven, did not like, because it's long, it feels a little weird. But I ended up buying that copy of the album today because someone posted one for 150 Canadian, and I went, buy.
Booba.
I was on Discogs when I got an alert saying one was posted for 100 American, and I was like, I got to buy that right now because they're worth $400 plus.
Yeah.
So I will have the Boob album, which doesn't have that interlude, which honestly would probably bump it up. another spot, just one.
I also have the Boob album. Plouffe bought me "Hooray for Boobies" the other not too long ago. So.
By Bloodhound Gang. Nice.
So.
Yeah, that was one I definitely moved as well. I did move a couple in my top 10 that I don't really have a whole lot to say, but just to note before we go through our top 10. I moved Being So Normal by Peach Pit and Parachutes by Coldplay, both down 2 spots. I found that Wylod and Band on the Run, I've been listening to those albums a lot. Really? Wylod, I mean, even at the time, I was very high on it. I even told Adam, I'm like, you were way too harsh on that album. It's so good. Really
I'm not even that harsh on that album.
I know. It's crazy. And Band on the Run, same thing. I was like, I'm coming back to this a lot. Even just the title song, Band on the Run.
Band on the Run's
fire.
Oh,
what
so
an amazing
fun.
start to the album. The dynamic sounds on it while still feeling really cohesive. I really enjoyed it. So knocking down Parachutes and Being So Normal, I don't think are a testament to the quality of those albums, but how good the other ones are. I've also listened to both those albums a lot. You know, I've been listening to Parachutes by Coldplay for like 15 years, 16, 17 years or whatever it is. And Being So Normal by Peach Pit, same thing. I've listened to it for probably about 5 or 6 years. I just saw them live a couple months ago. Fantastic. But these new ones, obviously, I think are more interesting packages. The Wylod, controversial, but I got the audiophile version. And the Band on the Run is just, it's just fantastic. So like it had to move up in my top 10.
Did you ever buy a copy of that album?
No, not yet. I want to get a good one. I haven't done the research on it though.
Yeah,
I want to make sure. Like Ziggy Stardust, I found like the Japanese version was the highest quality one you could buy, so I did that.
Yeah,
I need to do this for this album as well.
Yeah. So would you say, like, what was your best discovery? What was the best thing that was introduced to you outside of Pink Floyd?
Just outside Dark Side of the Moon. I would say for like new artist and album, not just like somebody I've never listened to, someone I have listened to, and it was a different album. Samurai Lupe Fiasco.
Oh,
like I'd never really listened. I listened to a couple songs, like I mentioned, and then ended up being in the 9th spot. Lana Del Rey, honestly, like I listened to Summertime Sadness, as we all have before. Joy, Valence, and Bray. I discovered them off the podcast, but still this year from Adam. And getting to listen to No Hands was a lot of fun. And Bill Withers.
Yeah.
Bill Withers is great.
This is great.
Jamie got me some great gifts this year.
Yeah. We strive to have good gifts, every so often. Yeah, interesting enough, Jolie Valence and Bray's No Hands made it into the top 10 in my re-ranking.
Whoa.
It is the number 10.
Well, mine dropped down. I dropped mine down 2 spots, but that's again because Lana went up.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Guero, like I said. I couldn't move it and ended up bumping down Joy Valence Bray under it.
I want to quickly talk about one that moved up 18 spots.
Whoa.
We listened to Adam's pick, Deafheaven's Sunbather, a couple of months ago, and I went out and bought a copy of that album, and I really enjoy that album. So that made it into the number 2 spot.
Holy cow!
Holy!
I'm
what was
glad
it before?
You like it so much.
It was the number. Hold on, what's 18? It's the number 20 spot.
Wow,
yeah.
That is a bump.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best albums I've ever been introduced to. I've actively yeah, I see you beaming over there. I looked into finding if they were coming on tour, but turns out they're touring Europe this year. So
you got to fly out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to London or someone and see them. But no, it's that was a great pick. It was an enjoyable album, even though it's really heavy and there's a lot of screaming in it. So
and it was in my 42nd spot.
What is that?
Really?
It's ranking or re-ranking?
That is where it is after all the re-ranks.
I understand. Okay. But no, that's a genuinely good album. I really enjoyed it. I actually bought another one of their albums too. I bought their album 10 Years Gone, which is a not live album. It is recorded live. So they only did one take, but it was recorded during COVID and they were intending to go on tour and it was canceled. So they went into the studio and just recorded their entire set list for their tour in one take. And then they pressed it. And it's really good. There's no crowd, but you can hear like mistakes and stuff like that, and like the mix is kind of wonky, like a live album might be, and it's really good.
Yeah, Deafheaven's great.
Did you have any others that jumped up a lot or down?
For me, it was Weezer, the Blue album. That was, I think, sitting around the 21st position. It is now number 12.
Whoa.
It is gone. It's just under Brat by Charlie XCX. It is. I just keep going back to it and be like, man, this album's the melodies are so good. The guitar solos are surprisingly great. It's such solid songwriting. And I love the vibe so much. I'm like a Weezer head now, but only for the first 2 albums, which I guess is most Weezer heads.
Yeah, like Pinkerton is probably their last. I don't know. Like
Green, they've got their moments on everything else, but like Blue Album, absolutely love it, and I never really given it that much time. And I've been revisiting it quite a bit.
Yeah, and similarly, so Deafheaven was number 2 in my re-ranking. That meant that Joe Cocker's album had to go somewhere, and I moved it down 13 spots.
Oh,
so I moved that to the number 14 spot. But in another huge move, I moved Blink-182's Greatest Hits up 21 spots.
That's right.
Dude, this is crazy.
So that's the number 22 pick on my list now. And then I also moved up Peach Pit's Being So Normal 14 spots.
Let's go.
To the 21 spot. And similarly, our friend Jonathan Horst's pick, Blue Desert, moved up 10 spots to the number 20. So
I love to hear it. Those are all albums I very much enjoy. Well, not Blink-182, but otherwise I enjoyed those albums, and they definitely deserve to be higher.
Did you have big moves?
My biggest move was Death Grips and Money Store, which went up 11 spots from 27 to 16.
Wow.
It's one that, again, the energy really depends on the energy, but it is one that like I consistently think of. It's also the summertime, so I'm driving fast on the highway. I'm listening to the Money Store. Hustle Bones, fantastic.
So good.
Followed by I've Seen Footage is like fire. Like that gets the blood pumping. I really enjoyed that. Another one that went up quite a bit was or I guess it didn't go up quite a bit, but it went up. Was Black Messiah, D'Angelo and the Vanguard. Moved from 25th to 22nd. Really good album. Again, I think there's parts where it's a little too slow, or like, I don't feel like it's as engaging. But the songs that are, I think, are really, really pretty. And again, in this relaxing summertime, I think that it's getting listened to more and more and more. And I enjoy it quite a bit. What was the lowest pick that you brought to the season? Like, is there ones that you guys picked that were quite low?
Like, I picked for myself and ranked it low.
Yeah. Probably Engelbert, right? That's probably lowest.
Engelbert Humperdinck would be mine.
I want to talk about Engelbert.
But that was less of a pick and more of the only greatest hits album that I had.
So what was one that was, I guess, your pick?
If I actually brought it in that was the lowest, I'm going to look like such... I think it's Weird Al.
That's the same thing, though. That's a CD.
I have lots of CDs. I could have brought in a lot of different CDs. Non-topic, Wilco AM, I think, is my lowest.
What position's that?
39th.
My lowest pick was a topic. That was a gift one when I gave you The City Under the City. But my lowest non-topic one, Significant Other by Limp Bizkit at 28.
Wow.
Yeah, my lowest pick was
loving
a topic at 38.
Loving your own stuff. Huh?
Yeah, even the L'Orange is 38. So it's out of like the lower depths. But other than that, Significant Other, yeah.
The Foo Fighters is my lowest pick.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is the most bland album.
That was 43 for me.
It's 49th for me on the re-ranking. Engelbert, though, I moved it up 32 spots.
Holy cannoli.
That's insane.
It is now the 23rd best album.
Hell yeah.
Because I thought about it and I listened to it. I didn't listen to all of it because some of it is a stanky, but there's enough great hits on there that I thought...
Not 20. But there are enough great hits.
Yeah, there's like 9 great hits.
Okay.
If there was a 12 great hits album, it would be pretty solid.
Yeah, I think we said the same thing during the episode. It's like you just need to cut out some of this.
Like Patsy Cline's greatest hits album is so much tighter than Engelbert's ever was. But
to be fair, this was
a compilation,
a K-Tel 20 songs on a record type record. It was not really curated. It was a value pick, right? That's why they put 20 songs on it. Was because
they tried to blow you away with like, oh, it's one low price and you get all these quote unquote hits.
And yeah, 20 songs that sound like sound like ass on the record because it was such low quality that truly the inside of that record The songs are virtually unlistenable. They're so bad.
Mm-hmm. Meant to be played in the background.
Any other standout albums that reorganize, or just you want to shout out as an honorable mention?
Synchronicity. That moved up like 10 or 15 for me.
Interesting.
Whoa.
I moved it down one.
I have grown to really appreciate that album. For me, biggest introduction, I think, was Peter Gabriel's So.
Was a decent one.
That's sitting at 15 for me. Absolutely. I'd never listened to it. Never listened to any Peter Gabriel outside of... Well, Jamie actually gave me his first album.
Oh, Car. Yeah, that's a good album. That's one with
And-
Salisbury Hill on it.
And I was like, whoa, I've never really listened to Peter Gabriel. This is awesome. And then revisiting, coming back and listening to So, I was like, this is amazing. Absolutely loved it. Great album. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to give you that one. That Peter Gabriel 1 is worth a listen. I may, we both own a copy. Maybe we'll talk about it next season. But
Yeah.
but it has that iconic Salisbury Hill, which has like one of the most iconic like guitar like intros of all time.
Yeah.
And the guitar on it is by our friend Robert Fripp from King Crimson. He's the guitarist on
He
that
gets
album.
around.
After King Crimson broke up, he became a session musician. So, King Crimson's Red didn't really move anywhere. I moved it down 5, but it's still in the top 30. But it's a good album. It's probably not my favorite King Crimson album, but
Wood is in the court.
yeah,
Or are you going to somebody's Discipline?
No, I'm not a huge Discipline fan.
Discipline's so good. I've been listening to
too,
Discipline
but
a lot.
It's not my favorite.
You'd hate it, Bell.
I didn't
Yeah, it
really
ended up being
have
40.
Absolutely
Red was
hate
40 for me.
I didn't really have a lot of other like huge movers and shakers on there. I moved the Life is Strange soundtrack down because it's just it's whatever. But I didn't really have one that was like a huge standout other than maybe like Sunbather and some of the other ones that moved way up.
Mm-hmm.
I moved Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion down to the top 15. It is the number 15 pick now. So,
Well, let's hear. What's your top 10? Unless, Adam, do you have any other standouts?
I was smart this year and I put the numbers.
I'm
plus
worried that
or
like
minus.
I accidentally did some of it on my previous list, and now I don't have the new. Like I'm wondering if there's things that I moved that I didn't realize I moved,
Classic.
or if I actually didn't get around to doing my top 10. But I think actually no. I think everything sits.
Cool. Well, Jamie, why don't we hear top 10 reorganized, starting with 10? We're gonna
Okay, No Hands, number 10. Dave Brubeck Quartet, number 9. Peter Gabriel, So, number 8. Number 7 is Band on the Run. Number 6, No Change, D'Angelo and the Vanguard. And then, of course, we talked about number 5 is Lana Del Rey. And then I left basically everything the same except for Deafheaven. So number 4 being Tapestry, number 3 being Rumors, number 2 being Sunbather, and number 1, of course, is Dark Side of the Moon.
I basically didn't change my top 10 at all. I thought about it because I was like hearing what you guys were saying about the rural Alberta advantage, especially if you like include the fact that it's like kind of a weak package, like it's very much just a disc and a sleeve. Though my copy is signed by the band.
That adds tens of dollars.
If anyone cares about the band. I just every single time I put that album on, I treasure it too closely for me to kick it out. So yeah, it's basically the same. Deafheaven, Sunbather, Carly Rae, Alberta Advantage, Beach Boys, Fleetwood, D'Angelo, Danny, Death Grips, Pink Floyd, and Kendrick Lamar. I thought about moving Atrocity Exhibition out of there, but then I listened to it again and I was like, you know what? Actually, it's still pretty goddamn crazy good.
Mm-hmm. My top 10 changed a little bit, but not too crazy. 10, Pet Sounds. 9, Samurai by Lupe Fiasco. 8, Parachutes by Coldplay. 7, Being Normal by Peach Pit. 6, Band on the Run. 5, Wild Odd by NxWorries. 4, Blue Desert by Jack J. 3, This Old Dog by Mac DeMarco. 2, Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. And number 1, Blonde by Frank Ocean. I guess that's a question. Where'd you guys put Blonde? That's my number 1.
Oh, hold on. That's the number 13 pick for me on the re-rankings.
It's number 17.
It was number 17 on my original ranking.
17, that's crazy.
And that's not really an insult. That's not a bad thing. I love that album. I just think I like everything that's above it more.
To be fair, To Pimp a Butterfly is 29 for me. It is low. Honestly, I thought about lowering it. I am at the point where I hear Kendrick on songs and I dislike it. I like don't like it. And again, it's not anything to do with the big three. It's that I don't like his stupid corny face he's in right now. But when Ken Kunta comes on, I was listening to today, and I listen to music loud. If it's late at night, I turn it down. Though I'm not one of those guys. But there's somebody with their dog, and they're waiting for it to pee. And then I looked over, and she was bobbing her head to King Kunta, as I was too. She wasn't like even looking at my car. She was like looking at her dog. And it was like bobbing her head along with my music, and I was like, yeah, it's a good song. Unfortunately, I just can't get over his high-pitched, nasally voice he does sometimes, and I couldn't move it up. But I also didn't feel like it was right to move it down any farther.
I didn't really move it. It's number 41.
That's
Butterfly?
crazy. I'm so surprised that you don't like it.
No, I liked it. I just didn't like it as much as 39 other picks.
At
40 other picks.
I'm just, yeah, that's still surprising to me. Because I think that there's a lot to like, especially if you're into like older hip hop or older funk. And I guess you're not really into hip hop in general, though.
He likes the Beastie Boys.
I am and I'm not.
I would not say liking the Beastie Boys means you're into hip hop.
I like this album. I think I would probably rate it like a 7.5 out of 10 or something like that. It's not.
Yeah.
Which is probably indicative of where it is, right? So.
Well, hey, what does your top of all time look like? We even sent Adam the list, so he had previous years, obviously.
Before we get into the all time, do we want to know what the combined list looks like?
Oh, you hit me with
that's a great idea.
Let's just pause real quick. I need to make sure that I have your final.
And here we are. Adam has crunched the numbers. 40 minutes IRL.
Crunched them really hard.
Turns out Jamie made a lot of small changes, but that's fine. That's what we asked everyone to do. And we have our top 10 of the year.
Let's go.
At number 10, Lupe Fiasco's Samurai. Number 9, Deafheaven's Sunbather. Number 8, Joy Valence and Bray's No Hands. Number 7, Mac DeMarco's This Old Dog. A sleeper top pick. That's crazy.
We didn't talk about that at all.
No, fantastic album. Number 6, Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run. Number 5, D'Angelo and the Vanguards, Black Messiah, because both of you have it very high. Wild. Number 4, Frank Ocean's Blonde. Number 3, The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Number 2, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, which leaves number 1 as Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. What an even spread for us in this top 10. I mean, there's a lot of Jamie.
Jamie's got 4. I have 3, and Belle has... Wait. Yeah, I have 4, and Belle has 2. Jamie...
Even spread.
Bringing in 3 of the best albums of all time kind of makes it so the list is stacked in his favor.
And the fact that you two have Deafheaven and D'Angelo so high counters me having it mid.
As it should.
And low.
We all agree.
Because Deafheaven I have quite low. And yet, it still made its way up here.
We all agree that Mac DeMarco, This Old Dog, very good album. At the very bottom, 21 Pilots' Vessel is the worst album of the year. Then we got Back in Black by AC/DC, The Cars, Foo Fighters, Limp Bizkit, Thank You Scientist, Tyler the Creator, Wilco, Dump, which is crazy because I think Dump's pretty good. I'm surprised it's so low. And Jamie lifting Engelbert Humperdinck really freaking high there. Has saved Engelbert from being near bottom.
We did that in reverse orders. 21 Pilots is the worst.
Yes.
The worst. With Core being the 10th worst.
Yes.
I have 4 picks in both the top and the bottom. Let's go.
I feel like my 3 here, controversial. Absolutely controversial. Bell picks in the bottom 10 here. But, I'm sure you think that AM by Wilco is a controversial bottom 10.
I wouldn't think it's that controversial, personally. I am kind of surprised that Wolf is this far low. I'm not surprised by Foo Fighters being that low.
I think when you see the band name, maybe you're surprised. But then you'll see the album.
Yeah, you expect more.
Tyler the Creator, I'm surprised as well, but I also kind of get it because it's of a time. It's pretty aggressive. But I don't have
any of his albums after that, except for Cherry Bomb, are really, really, really good.
Yeah. So interesting top and bottom. This ultra list, you know what? It'll be another comment where there's going to be 6 comments on this just from Vinyl Verdict, but you'll see all of the lists, including this penultimate one. But we did our top 10s of all the seasons combined. And I think that'll be an interesting one. Again, doing 10 to 9. Adam, why don't you start us off with your top 10? We've been doing.
I didn't look at the all-time list, man. I forgot to get around to it.
All right, Jamie, why don't you start with your top 10 all time?
So my top 10, number 10, Prozac's Hot Show.
Whoa. Okay, crazy. Generally, I don't know what this list is going to be, but starting with Prozac, that's a good sign.
I couldn't choose, so we have a combined number 9. In number 9, Dope Smoker. In number 9, Sunbather.
Wow.
Very similar. That makes sense. What's your number 7?
Number 8, because we had 2 number 9s.
Wait, now you have a top 11 effectively? You're supposed to take
Whatever.
away 8.
Yeah. Breakfast in America. Number 7, The Who's Live at Leeds. Number 6, Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round Part 1 by the Kinks. Number 5, The Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique. Number 4, Ray Charles, Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, Volume 1. Number 3, David Bowie's The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Then we get Pink Floyd's rounding out the top 10, or 11, I guess. Wish You Were Here, number 2, and Dark Side of the Moon in number 1.
Wow. That is quite the list. We agree in almost 0 ways.
Excellent.
My number 10 for best of all time on Vinyl Verdict is This Ain't the Way You Go Out by Lucy Rose in number 10. Blue Desert by Jack J in number 9. Swimming in Circles by Mac Miller in number 8. Number 7 is This Old Dog by Mac DeMarco. Number 6 is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Number 5 is Peace or Love by Kings of Convenience. Number 4 is Walking on a Dream by Empire of the Sun. And now for the top 3. We have Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd in number 3. Number 2 is Blonde by Frank Ocean. And number 1 will be no surprise if you are a fan of the podcast. It is I Love You, Honey Bear by Father John Misty.
Hey.
A fantastic album. A fantastic record with its pop-up book style where it did not ruin my copy of the album. I loved that. That was a surprise pick where I'd never listened to it before picking for the episode, and it was fantastic. Another one to, I guess, clarify, Walking on a Dream by Empire of the Sun. Also, just because it's a fantastic record collection. I have the special edition that is very limited and came with like a book and a DVD, and love it. Great album. Great package.
I'm trying to make my top in no particular order.
I had an honorable mention while Adam does that. So I put 5 honorable mentions that I wanted to put on a list, but I didn't know where to put them. So number 5, So. Number 4, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by our friends the Beatles. They're an up-and-coming group. Number 3, Supertramp's Crime of the Century. Number 2, did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard?
Don't
and number 1 honorable mention, working with the Miles Davis Quintet.
I'll give some honorable mentions as well. I actually had some that were ranked higher in their individual seasons, but now, again, after another year or 2 years, have moved up. Mm-hmm. But honorable mention to Alchemy by Disclosure.
Oh, yeah.
Evil Urges by My Morning Jacket.
I listened to Alchemy the other day.
Great album. Mm-hmm. Slide by George Clinton. In Rainbows by Radiohead. Crazy that doesn't make a top 10. Such a fantastic album. And the final shout out would go to EP 1 and 2 by Yeji. Re-listened to that and I was like, man, I really like Yeji. Her style's kind of changed up a bit over the last few years since those EPs released, but such a fun package. Love Yeji.
I'll give you my non-ordered top 10
with
the caveat that I'm not going to put in Pink Floyd twice.
You can do whatever you want.
Because
it's your top 10.
It'll be my top 11 if you include both Pink Floyd albums. But in no particular order, just from really quickly going through the list and seeing what you guys have done. Danny Brown Atrocity Exhibition. D'Angelo and the Vanguard's Black Messiah. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
Wish You Were Here, not Dark Side of the Moon. Interesting.
I freaking love Wish You Were Here. Death Grips, The Money Store. Pink Floyd. Oh, no, wait. I said no. Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon would be in here, but we're not going to do 2 of them. Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. I Love You, Honey Bear by Father John Misty. Lateralis by Tool. In Rainbows, Radiohead, Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys, and Toxicity by System of a Down.
What would be your top 1?
My top 1?
What would be the top of all those? Trust your gut.
Probably To Pimp a Butterfly. Or actually, no, In Rainbows.
Yeah, In Rainbows good, yeah.
In Rainbows, probably.
Solid list. Again, I don't agree. I think Lateralis was in my bottom 10 for season 2.
The copy of Lateralis I have is poo-poo ass.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because it's the picture disc, and every time it hits the picture, because it's the exploded view of the human body,
Yeah.
Every time it hits that on the album, it clicks, and it's so annoying.
That's horrible.
It was the 6th worst for me in season.
I mean,
2.
if I knew it was that bad of a pressing, I probably wouldn't have picked it. But as
I
albums,
don't like the album.
As an album, I like it. I think it's fine.
I will say, Lateralis would be a better album if they just ended it with Lateralis and then didn't have the 3 tracks after it. Even though I quite
fair
like
enough.
the 3
Yeah,
tracks
if
after
it was shorter, yeah, sure, why not? It is a double LP too, so it's a double LP with a picture disc on both sides, and it sounds terrible, but it does have this really cool prismatic cover that opens up into like a quadruple gatefold, which is really
cool.
neat. I give that to my buddy Kevin for his birthday. He likes it, so I'm sure he can.
Do you have a worst of all time?
I do. We did it as a stretch goal. I was the only one who achieved it. Shout out me. Follow me on Twitter. Don't follow me on Twitter. I take it back. Follow the Pope. Don't follow the Pope. I changed my mind on that too. Follow Jamie on Blue Sky. My bottom 10 from least worst to worst is number 10. Everything Goes Numb by Streetlight Manifesto. Number 9. Transmissions from the Satellite Heart by the Flaming Lips. Number 8. Advance and Vanquish by 3 Inches of Blood. Number 7, Palookaville by Fatboy Slim. Number 6, My Aim Is True by Elvis Costello. Number 5, MNQ026, Survive. That was a Dan pick.
No, that was my pick.
That was your pick?
That's Vaporwave or Space Wave.
Yeah, it stunk.
I gave that to Dan though. So
That makes sense. Number 4, Back in Black by AC/DC. Number 3, Dope Smoker by Sleep. Number 2, Vessel by 21 Pilots. And number 1, Stranger Heads Prevail by Thank You Scientist.
Wow,
was
I'm
my least favorite of all time.
For an album you listened to one time and
No, I listened
decided
to it more than once
hated
for
it.
the episode. But
And you
I
haven't
have not
returned to
listened
it,
since.
but you'd think it's worse than Dope Smoker.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised.
Because
by
that is, it's its genre that I don't really like. But like you could put it on, like maybe there'd be a mood for it. But like I just don't. I think this is bad in its genre. Like I don't like that at all.
That's crazy.
And
I'm
now
glad to have introduced you to at least 2 of the worst albums you've ever heard.
3.
Well, I mean, Plouffe did worse on that list.
He has more appearances, probably.
No, you
But
guys
he also
tie.
has 2 seasons.
Actually, it is. Jamie has the most at
On that
4. Plouffe at 3. Adam at 3.
Well, okay. Name my picks.
Transmissions from the Satellite.
Crazy that you would not rank any of your own
My Aim Is
albums
True.
as the worst albums you've ever
MNQ,
heard.
Back in Black. Well, I'm not going to bring
I
up
would have picked
purposely awful.
I would have picked the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Talk about
So
it.
Elvis Costello was from the album where the one where you picked from my.
No, I think it was the most recent purchase, wasn't it?
No,
So
the
you-
most recent purchase was Transmissions from the Satellite Heart.
You still own one of the worst I ever did.
Yeah.
And then Adam's got the top 3 for worst albums I've ever. And one of them was before he was a regular host. Dope Smoker, he was a guest.
Yeah, he was a guest. Yeah.
And that one episode went up with just the description that said stinks because usually Jamie actually fills it in. So that'd be the bottom 10, the top worst albums of 3 years, as per Bell's rating. What a few years.
I'm still offended by how the haterade that was drank regarding Boston.
Yeah, that one's stinks.
The self-titled album for Boston's awesome.
No.
It's a great
Yeah,
time.
so do you have any other? I
I-
shared
yeah.
Adam my complete rankings for the 3 years. Are there any others that kind of stand out of like being?
Also hating Paul's Boutique is crazy.
Yeah, no
It's
stinks.
such a fun album.
They also hated Exile on Main Street. I think that was the first album that it was like a universal, like, why do you like this album? It sucks.
Also crazy to think that you don't like it. What else? You got some ones that are really high. It's tough to like look at them because I'm looking at just like one season at a time right now.
They really didn't like that Rod Stewart album, but I also don't really like that Rod
Never
Stewart
Picture Tells a Story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gift of Gab. I was like, I'm surprised that was the 3rd worst, but then I tried listening to it, and it truly is just so exhausting because he raps so fast.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the Jazz Spastics. Ended up being the 5th worst or 6th worst of that season.
Scratch and Sniff is okay. It's just kind of.
And well, the artist reached out, was like, "Thanks for covering our album," and I was like, "Oh,
Man.
too bad I gave it such a low rank." Because at the time, it was probably the worst.
Yeah, well,
we'd
we'd only covered like 8 albums at that point.
Yeah, we
right?
were a new little fresh baby podcast.
Yeah. Now we're up to almost 150 episodes. Thank you
Mhm.
for all of you for listening to them.
Mhm.
Jeez,
Do you have like your compiled all-time list?
Like actually ranking each. No,
You didn't do that.
that'd
You
be
just said the top,
crazy.
so I was just making sure.
That'd be crazy.
Because some of these, I'm like, I don't know in the context of the entire season. Maybe it was like reasonable.
I was a little surprised at the reaction to the Jimi Hendrix album, but
it's one of a good recording. Like just like
yeah,
I'm sure it was cool to be there. It's like I bet he's playing the guitar backwards here. But.
Yeah, it was just very hard to visualize. I probably will pick another album by him again, but not for many seasons. Join us back in season 6 when I'll cover Jimi Hendrix again. The reaction to the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young album, which was like my pick before that one in that season, that was interesting. But that's interesting more that because that's one of the first super groups that like it wasn't more universally picked as an interesting album. But also I think it's really funny listening to Neil Young now that because Plouffe made a remark that he really likes soloing on one note, and then listening to other Neil Young albums, and yeah, he just likes hitting one note. Yeah, and just like soloing on one note for like the entire solo.
I think the most egregious thing is that you found 10 albums worse than the LMG Christmas album. The LMG Christmas album wasn't anywhere on that list. You'd rather listen to the LMG Christmas album.
You'd rather listen to the 8 Crazy Nights soundtrack, which is also terrible.
That is a rough album. Yeah, then Bicycle Thief or Green by R.E.M. Because at least like there's some novelty to the LMG Christmas Party. Like you put that on and like you get some humor out of it. Whereas the other ones, I was like, I don't want to. Yeah, you see Jimi Hendrix underneath the LMG Christmas album. And you go
Green by R.E.M. and Jimi Hendrix and Tool.
A lot of rounds, yeah.
Literally any of these under there is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, they're, it just wasn't great. Even Cassiopeia, I know you're a big fan, ended up being pretty low on the list.
I mean, Cassiopeia's got some great albums and they've got some mid albums.
Yeah.
And I only really like the great ones.
I really like that Cassiopeia album. I man, if I go back and I found out that I kind of like pooped on it, that would be interesting. There was a couple albums that I wasn't fair to. Like we covered that Cake album, and I had to go back and tell Plouffe that, like after I kind of pooped on it and I had gone back, and now I listen to that album all the time.
You guys were so all the time just dunking on the Beths.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
And that album's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
I hate that album. That album makes me want to like throw stuff. It's so bad. I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't know. It puts me in a bad mood.
Why does it put you in a bad mood?
I don't know. That album, like that. I don't know if it's that one or the Growlers that I was putting furniture together when I was like I put together one of the Calyx units that my records are stored in. I think it's the one. I think that was the Growlers, but I think that the frustration of putting together IKEA furniture.
Calyx is so easy to assemble.
I know, but like
you have no excuse.
In the middle, like I don't hate the Growlers. I just probably didn't rate it as high because I listened and made notes while I was putting together furniture.
Well, it's okay. Now that your ratings have gotten a lot better since you've learned not to do that.
I try and listen to a lot of the albums on my stereo too, because like even though we're like I don't borrow the copy of the album before we make the record the episode. I listen to it digitally. But I try and listen to them on my stereo because that's how I listen to the albums. So if it sounds good on my stereo, generally speaking, I rate it pretty high. But albums that don't sound good on my stereo, like, consequently get ranked much lower.
So you're admitting your bias. I see.
Well, I mean, I have to. Like, if I
that's this whole podcast is just here's our bias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like think about it this way: the podcast is like a book club, and if I read your book and I didn't enjoy it, I would probably tell you about it. Right, so
that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why we invite each other to sit here and discuss.
Yeah, that's why this podcast exists. It's a book club,
and because of the man
records.
with the worst opinions is getting ejected.
Whoa! That's right. This is my last season as a host on Vinyl Verdict
and the editor. I'm
retiring. No more editing. No more recording.
We're just not going to edit them anymore. You're going to get like just a dump now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm moving on to other creative things to try out for a bit. Maybe I'll be back.
Yeah, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Jake Indigo. I have a Twitter, but don't go to it. I also stream on Twitch at Notoriously Soft, and I hope to make video content as Notoriously Soft as well. So check me out. But maybe I'll be back. I'd love to do some stuff over the summer. I'd love to be a guest.
Well, summer is rapidly ending.
It's crazy. It's July 20th right now. It's almost my birthday. Wish me a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I didn't mean you to, but I appreciate it. But yeah, next season there'll be some changes, I'm sure. They're keeping
It's
it
going to be
secret,
crazy.
though.
Big plans.
Yeah. I'm going to start saying stuff just so you have to do it. It's a video podcast. You'll see their faces.
Oh, I don't want to see.
They're going to have a sponsor from Athletic Greens.
Oh, wow.
I will never work with Athletic Greens.
Only lazy.
Not athletic enough.
Lazy blues.
Yeah, lazy beans.
We're now sponsored by MeUndies.
Okay. I'm going back to be sponsored by MeUndies.
And we're going to be on video wearing them.
Only the MeUndies.
Ploof is coming back. And Jamie will simply
gonna be a
pass
7.
away halfway through the next
Oh
season.
no, am I gonna die?
It's going to be a 7-person podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I won't be there, so don't have too much fun.
We're having one person just do fact checking during the podcast.
I'm going to use a
that'd be
voice
good.
changer to change my voice to sound more like Belle.
Yeah, it'll be good. Hey guys, it's me, Adam.
Hey.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
It's me, Patrick Warburton. I'm here on Vinyl
This
Verdict.
Dope Smoker album.
It's really
sucks
sucks. So make sure to stay tuned. I'm excited to see what these guys do. And you should be too.
Jamie, if you leave, it's going to be like a Grateful Dead situation.
What, like Jerry
It's
Garcia dies?
no, it's just the name of like the band that exists, but there's none of the original members.
Oh, true enough. Well, it's Dead and Company now, and it's everybody.
Well,
except
it was,
Phil
but
Lesh.
like for a long time, it was also just like none of them.
Oh, true enough. Yeah. Oh, rest in peace, Jerry
As
Garcia.
we go on,
we
remember.
I own a lot of Grateful Dead albums. We will cover one of them one day.
Yeah, do you guys have any ideas of other albums you want to check out early on next season?
Nah.
He and I privately discussed like removing the long albums thing.
Oh, no rule but long albums?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like just making it so that we don't do like 6 long albums.
I just think
in a
that
row.
I think we need to change how we approach topics,
Topics.
because that ends up. Now, I love giving the viewers and listeners as much content as possible, but a lot of the times they end up just getting a triple episode every
God,
like,
it must
few
be
months.
a slog.
I know,
Yeah.
they're lucky.
So I want to adjust how we're going to do topics. Albums that I want to bring and talk about. I want to talk about Mastodon. I want to talk about
I like
Jordy
Mastodon.
Greep. I want to talk about TV on the radio. I want to talk about them crooked
TV on the radio, that doesn't even
vultures.
make sense.
I want to talk. There's lots of stuff I want to talk about. We've barely even touched.
You haven't scratched
Barely
the
even
surface.
dipped the toes into my collection.
I don't want to dip my toes in it.
Yeah, so I'm excited for next season. We got lots of good music to talk about, lots of cool stuff to see.
Wow. I know I'm excited to tune in, and you should be too. Until next time.
It's
Bye.
Final Verdict.